How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video of Life Made Easy. I know I've been switching over to Xbox content, but I still needed to bring you guys a full in-depth review of the Notepad 102 tablet by a company called Dragon Touch that sent me out this tablet. So I did already do the unboxing and first impressions. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's on my channel. One of my most recent videos I've done. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Shout out to Dragon Touch for actually sending me out this product. I always love reviewing mobile products such as smartphones as well as tablets. So currently I own a Tab S7 tablet, so this isn't going to be replacing my daily driver tablet, just because the Tab S7, it's in the Samsung ecosystem. And I also have, and this is also like an extremely expensive tablet, which I paid a lot of money for. But I got a good student discount on it, so shout out to Samsung for including discounts for students. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into the overall review. You can see my reflection in the screen, but I'm probably going to be putting some B-roll over this review and stuff. So the main categories, and this is what I judge most tech products on, especially like mobile products: screen, battery, design, speed, sound, and then camera. So it's like 6 things, usually scored out of 10 points for each category. Add them up at the end, total of 60 points, and see how many points the device gets. Usually I'm very honest and fair about this, and no bias is involved. So without further ado, let's hop right into the first category, which is screen quality. So Dragon Touch mentions that this is like a 1200 by 800 resolution. So it's not 1080p. However, they advertise it as full HD on their Amazon website, I think, or it's either their Amazon website or on the box. I made note of that on my last upload on this device. But so with that resolution, you can't actually pump out full HD because you're not at the 1080p threshold. So if you're watching YouTube content or Netflix, everything's going to be in 720p resolution because that's the highest possible resolution that you can hit. Those are presets on most streaming services. Anything with video playback, usually it'll go 480, 720, 1080, 1440, and then all the way up to like 4K. So with this, since you have the maximum resolution of 1200 by 800, you're only be getting 720p on YouTube, which is, I mean, it's fine for the most part. It gets the job done. It's an IPS panel, so it's not the most pixel dense. It's not as good as like a 120 hertz, like 1440p display that Samsung makes, like my Tab S7. However, it gets the job done for just standard media consumption. So for this, oh, and also the touch responsiveness on the tablet. I mean, I guess that I can fit that in the screen part of the review, but the touch responsiveness is a little lacking in my opinion. Just like there's a little lag whenever you touch the screen, and something actually changes on the display. So there's a little input lag with your finger. I'm pretty sure Samsung and Apple have moved over to like 240 refresh, like input delay or something like that. I don't know what it's called exactly, but here I feel like it's much lower, and things don't seem as smooth when like scrolling through content and stuff like that. So it's also like a 60 hertz panel. So you're not going to get 120 hertz, obviously, at this price point for $150. I don't think most people would even expect that, nor do I think many people even know what 120 hertz is. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. There's a lot of those types of displays on Samsung tablets and Android smartphones right now. So definitely go check that out. I think the human eye can detect it for the most part. So for that category, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for overall screen quality. Next, I want to talk about battery. This is a pretty brief category since you can't really go too much in depth on battery life. Before talking about battery life, I think it's important to talk about charging. I believe this came with a 5-watt power adapter in the box, which is relatively slow. I also attempted to charge this on my Samsung 15-watt charger. Sadly, it did not support the fast charging, even though it's USB Type-C. I like that it's USB Type-C, that you can transfer files quickly. Sadly, it does not support any sort of fast charging, so you're going to have to wait a pretty long time. When it fully died and then I was recharging it, it said estimated time to recharge was roughly 4 hours. So just keep that in mind. If you think that you're going to need this in a pinch, you need to quick charge it really quickly, you're probably not going to get that with this tablet. Overall battery life was great though. Came with like several power saving options since it's not having to power like the most intense display out there. It's not like a 4K 120 hertz display. That the battery life holds up, and it has a pretty decent processor to back it up, which is 8 cores. Next is overall design. So I like this overall. Oh, sorry. For the battery life, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10 for that category. In terms of overall design, I think it's a great design. As I said in my last video, it's like kind of similar to my Tab S7, which I like. It's a great design. It's pretty thin. It's lightweight. Nice Dragon Touch logo on the back. I like the camera setup. You can also attach this to a docking station, as I mentioned in the last video. I don't have it personally, but if you want to get some work done, it comes with a keyboard case as well. But yeah, front-facing camera here, just like on my Tab S7. The weird thing is that I think it's supposed to be held in this orientation, since the camera is right here. It's supposed to be held in this orientation, and it's kind of weird because the charger is on the top, as well as the volume and the power. And then the headphone jack is on the side right there, as you can see, which is weird, right? I mean, like, half the time, I don't know if I'm doing volume up or down on here, just because I'm going left and right, as opposed to if it's on the side, up means volume up and down means volume down. Here, it's left and right, and I'm kind of sitting here confused about which one to actually do. Oh, I just activated the camera. Double tapping the power switch will do that. But yeah, I can't really tell, and if I go in here real quick, it's hard for me to tell which is which. Apparently right is up and left is down. Luckily it's running Android 10, so it makes it really easy to adjust volumes. I'm a big fan of Android. Android 10 is really good on this device, and that's another perk of this. It comes with the latest Android software. My S9 is still on Android 9, and I have no idea. Comment down below if I should get a new smartphone. I'm really considering it, getting a 120 hertz smartphone. Overall design, I like it. Just some weird layout stuff, so I had to subtract off some points here. But overall, 7 out of 10 for the design. I think it holds up. For overall speed, it's kind of laggy for the most part. It does have a octa-core processor, as it claims. However, I believe, I mean, I'm putting the specs up early in this video. I believe it was 1.6 gigahertz. I did run a Geekbench. I'm sorry. So for 4 cores. Cluster 1 on Geekbench, it was 1.2 gigahertz, and then cluster 2 at 4 cores was 1.6 gigahertz. So the gigahertz speed is pretty low, and that kind of like translates throughout the overall user experience. Things load relatively quickly, but if you're coming from something with like a Snapdragon like 845 or above, or 835 or above, you're probably gonna think that this is slow compared to that. So overall, the speed, I give it a 5 out of 10. For sound, I'll probably play an audio clip right here. And I think the sound is good. 2 bottom firing speakers right here, so it is stereo setup. Sadly, it's not coming up. Like, there's no speakers on the front of the display. So I think the quality is fine. Gets relatively loud, and I'd say there's a lack of bass on the speakers. However, the highs and the mids are pretty clear. There is some distortion when you max out the volume, but that happens to a lot of speakers. So just keep that in mind. If you're just watching general YouTube and Netflix on this, you'll be fine with it. And there's a headphone jack if you want to listen to any media through headphones. So overall sound, I think give it a 7 out of 10. And then the microphone quality is actually pretty good. I'll play a sample right here.
Okay, this is a quick audio test of what the built-in microphone sounds like on the Notepad 102. Let me know how this sounds, and yeah, moving on to the next section of the review.
It was good when I was recording with it. I think it gets the job done. I don't know. I don't think this can take calls, but if it can, I'm not actually too sure. The microphone would hold up. So yeah, sound overall 7 out of 10. Camera, this is the bad part of this device. Every other category I thought was pretty good. When it comes to the camera, I'll put sample images on screen. But yeah, the camera for this, I don't like it. I think it drastically needs to be improved. I don't think it's the megapixel count. I think it's just the lens and the software for the camera. I'm not a big fan of their software for the camera app. It was not very intuitive, and then it was actually pretty confusing at times because I had to adjust. I'll show you guys. You have to go in here, and there's a little button right here, and there's no like easy switch to switch between the front facing and then the rear facing. You have to click this button and then select it here, and there's only 4 options: grid, HDR, timer, and then switch camera. And there's a bit of a lag. Overall, the camera quality is not very good. Obviously, you're not buying a tablet for the camera. I don't think anyone is. However, you just have to keep that in mind if you are interested in taking some pictures with this. They're not going to come out well. The processing isn't very good, and then the shutter speed, I think, is the worst issue here. With whenever you have moving subjects or something like that, it's going to distort the image a ton, and it's going to come out blurry. So overall, for this category, I had to give it a 2 out of 10. I'm not a fan of this camera. I don't think you should buy this device for a camera. However, if you don't care about the camera, and maybe you just want this for, like, I don't know, standard video call, it can get the job done for that. But definitely don't go out searching for a tablet and buy this thinking that the camera is going to be amazing and you can shoot 4K raw footage with this, because you can't. But overall, after adding up all the points, hopefully I did my math correctly, this got a 33.5 out of 60, so pretty decent score. You just have to keep in mind this is a budget tablet, and so if I were to rank like my Tab S7, just like the gold standard, I'd probably give this like a close to like a 55 or higher out of 60 in terms of these categories. But still, for 150 bucks, it did pretty well. It held up. It checks a lot of the boxes. For the average consumer, I think it does. I think it does a pretty good job for the most part. But if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.